folks, in this video we will prove that Wolverine is the strongest hero in the Marvel Universe. The Marvel Universe is home to many strong characters like the Scarlet Witch, Colossus, Spider-Man, and so on, but not many can hope to match the Wolverine. This guy is the best at what he does, and that's often fighting. His healing factor, adamantium claws, skeleton, and super senses make him one of the toughest mutants. Even when face-to-face with his comrades in the Marvel Universe, in a comic written by Jonathan Mayberry, he still was the last man standing. How did he do it? And what kind of hell did he go through to have the last laugh? In this video, you will get to see how Wolverine survived the onslaught attacks of Marvel's strongest heroes and proved he was the strongest hero in the Marvel Universe. Chapter 1: Fall of Angels. It began with a shocking scene of Wolverine sticking his fangs deep into the Stargirl, murdering her in cold blood. Coincidentally, his bosom friend Colossus just happened to witness him committing the act. Suddenly, blinded by rage, Colossus fought with Wolverine, delivering devastating punches, enough to send an average hero to his early grave. These two best friends, who have been together for many years, turned against each other. It ended with Wolverine driving his sharp claws through Colossus' head. But what happened? What went wrong? And how did it all come to this? It started 5 weeks ago on a normal day when Wolverine and Peter were watching a match between the Canadians and the Rangers. Suddenly, Spider-Man and Rhino crash land during the game. Wolverine was about to ignore what was happening as Spidey and Rhino had been on this for years, but what happened next made him realize that the last days of everything being normal and cool were yesterday. Spider-Man started to eat Rhino. The look on his face was different from the web shooting in his memories. The story wasn't a hero story anymore. The bridge got burned when the good guys started eating the bad guys. Wolverine teamed up with the Fantastic Four to capture the Spider-Man, whereas Reed studied him like a lab rat. But even the genius Reed felt lost on how to solve the problem. With no hope of bringing Spider-Man back, the crew carried out their normal days, fighting bad guys, preventing the apocalypse and stuff. But deep down, Logan knew something was wrong. It didn't take long for his feelings to come true as Psylocke was killed by supposedly the same things having symptoms similar to Spidey. Devastated by Psylocke's death and Spider-Man's situation, Wolverine and the Fantastic Four were on edge. But the Wolverine would not just stand still and wait for the enemy to come to him, as he went on a hunt for the perpetrator, but gradually he came to understand that this was real. Call it gut or instinct, but this reality was the real world now. Everybody in New York City had become cannibal predators, with only the instinct to eat meat being their sole drive. Desperate for answers, the Wolverine flew to San Francisco to meet Angel and X-Men, but who he saw wasn't Angel anymore. He knew then that New York wasn't the center of this thing. From the looks of it, Angel got infected in Utopia. If it had even reached here, it was everywhere. After killing Angel, he found out he was too late. All the X-Men, his comrades, had all turned into flesh-eating monsters. How could he allow his friends to exist like this? How could he allow them to suffer through this hell? Logan didn't hesitate to put his friends out of their misery. It was the fall of angels, heroes turned beast, and friends murdered in cold blood. Chapter 2: Squashing the Bug. Wolverine is left heartbroken by what he did. His hands are forever stained with the blood of the X-Men. Who can blame him? The man can heal from anything, but even he can't heal easily from trauma. Reed, the world's greatest scientific mind, together with his colleagues, had found out what was causing the plague. What the fuck? The cause was Vigivasci Odin Vasaminatsits, a gene therapy made using bacteria as vectors. Of course, Wolvie wasn't interested in some scientific words. What he wanted was the cure. But Reed emphasized that re-engineering a cure won't be possible with samples of Survivor 18. The Red Mafia ambushed a large shipment of Survivor 18 that was brought into New York. As for who was responsible, from the looks of it, Wolverine had a clue. This person was someone the police had been looking for a long time. From what Wolverine knew about him, he wasn't interested in selling things in the black market. So why had he ambushed the shipment? Logan didn't know, but he was sure that he was part of what caused the plague then. Logan wouldn't hesitate to drive his claws through his jaws. Passing through the city and witnessing heroes fighting crimes, he recalls the good old days, but he couldn't get distracted as this wasn't just about fighting. The fate of the Earth as we know it was at stake. Finally, he found his target, the Punisher, someone whose bloodlust was even thicker than his own. Joining in the fight, the Arrow and the Punisher massacred the other side, a one-sided battle that led to dropping that could only be described as genocide. Wolverine explained to the Punisher why he had come. The Punisher took him to the site while adding that although he was exposed to the plague, it only caused him stomach pains. Intrigued by this discovery, Wolverine had to drag Punisher back to base, as his blood held the source of the plague. It was then that Wolverine felt everything wasn't right. It was too calm, and he was right. Arriving at the base, they were met with a tomb. Spider-Man was loose, and he had pounced on the Fantastic Four. Wolvie tried to kill Spider-Man, but Richards, who was still alive, couldn't allow it, claiming the Spider was Patient Zero and was the key to curing the plague. Cannibal Spider, sensing he was outmatched against the Wolverine, jumped off the building and escaped into the night. Just a few days ago, he had killed the X-Men, and now he had his brother's blood and the Beast in his hands too. Their base was destroyed. Chapter 3: The Predator Rage. As the demoralized heroes plotted their next course of action, 3 new threats appeared. The pathogenically transformed Ben, the Red She-Hulk, and the Tundra. Without warning, Wolverine was jaw-slapped by Ben Rocky's big hands, sending him straight to the wall. What a punch! I doubt anyone could survive that. From their expression, it looked as if the cannibal heroes enjoyed killing. They saw the Wolverine Richard and the Punisher as their prey. When Ben saw he was about to lose, he didn't hesitate to sacrifice Red She-Hulk while fleeing the scene. It turns out it was Ben who broke Spider-Man free. He probably turned in the few hours Logan was away. But how did he get infected? It's still a mystery we hope to uncover. Time was running out, and they were already losing the war before it started. Collecting sample blood from the Punisher, Reed started to reverse engineer the antidote, but it wouldn't be easy as his fellow genius partners were no longer around. Meanwhile, there was unrest among the cannibal heroes. They thought the Wolverine and his team, whom they called the Wizards, were out to kill them. The Predators would soon turn the prey. Back at the lab, the world's greatest scientist was gradually losing hope. Nothing was worked out. Out of fear, he asked Logan if it was truly the end, but Wolverine replied, "No, I don't believe it is the end. I didn't go through all the pain for anything. Half of the world is still unaffected. We may not be heroes, but we can't let them down." Couldn't have said it better, Wolvie. The last surviving heroes of the Marvel Universe, led by Wolverine, stood against almost all the heroes of the Marvel Universe. But they knew it wouldn't be an easy fight when they saw the cannibalism Hulk. But they had to hold off the other side to give the science team more time to develop the antidote. The Wolverine fought a brutal battle with the Hulk, taking blows from the Hulk, who only got stronger with more rage. Hulk used his powerful jaws to tear out Logan's left arm. To make matters worse, the Human Torch went Nova, destroying the majority of both sides of the armies. This fight was no longer a battle to save the world, but a new kind of survival of the fittest. Who will have the last laugh? Will the new species prevail? Or will Wolverine once again prove to the world that he is the greatest hero? The whole point of the battle was to hold the Hulk down till the science team got away, but the Hulk was too strong. The heroes did their best, but they only managed to slow down the Hulk and the cannibal heroes. They paid a heavy price for nothing. Wolverine was rescued and brought into the last hideout, where they planned their last stand. Deadpool was sent to gather intel, where he discovered that he too was gradually transforming to becoming them. Not a good sign, but thanks to his healing factor, he didn't. With the plan in motion, all Wolverine and Deadpool had to do was hold off the monstrous Hulk. In the process, a friendship was brewing as the two realized they had more in common. It was a brutal fight, with Captain America being shot dead by the Punisher when he was about to transform. Sadly, we didn't see what happened next as the comic stopped there. We might be having Volume 2 next, but even at that, Wolverine went through what most superheroes wouldn't dare to experience. From facing off against the entire X-Men and many strong Marvel characters, including the Hulk, to leading the last stand against the cannibal heroes, no doubt the Wolverine has earned the right to be called the strongest hero in the entire Marvel Universe. The only person that can contend with him is the Punisher, judging from how he faced the entire Marvel Universe in the comic series, the Marvel Universe versus the Punisher. What do you think, guys? Does Wolverine deserve the title from his performance in the series? Feel free to express your opinion in the comment section below.